Welcome to the Claims Underground podcast with your hosts, Corey Locke and Troy Willis, where we help policyholders just like you understand your policy and how to navigate through an insurance claim. We advocate for homeowners as well as businesses when insurance companies won't pay. So if you're tired of getting the runaround and ready to find out what's really going on, then let's get down to business and learn from the insurance claims experts, Corey Locke and Troy Willis.
Hey there, welcome again to Claims Underground. This is Corey Locke, public adjuster. I've got 35 years of experience, 26 with the carriers, also a large loss adjuster, and the last 9 years as a public adjuster. I'm an expert witness, and my good friend and business partner, Troy Willis, is here. Troy, please introduce yourself.
Thank you, Corey. My name is Troy Willis. I am a licensed public adjuster as well. I am also a retired builder, a expert witness, a certified appraiser and umpire, and I've been doing this for more than 30 years. I also work for an insurance company as an independent adjuster, as a large loss adjuster, which gave me a little more insight on both sides of the fence. And today we're going to discuss your duties after a loss. We think it's important for everyone to understand what their duties are because personally, I have seen claims denied because people didn't exercise these duties as they were told. And it's critical to know what they are. It's not a whole lot of them. It's very simple and to the point of what you need to do, but we're going to explain what you need to do and why you need to do it versus just what you need to do. So starting with that, before we bring the question to the table for more clarification, kind of a brief of what you need to do. One, you need to give prompt notice to your agent. Whenever you have a loss or your insurance company, you call them promptly. Two, you want to secure the property from further damages. Three, you would keep all the receipts that you incur costs to. And you don't want to go getting crazy with costs without getting a clarification from the insurance company they're going to cover it. And one of the most important things is you want to cooperate with the claim process. You don't want to, tell them a bunch of things you won't do and why you won't do them because, not cooperating with the policy, with the carrier regarding what your responsibilities are can cause you to be denied a claim. And then the last part of this I would address before we get into this questions is you want to provide an inventory of the things you lost inside the home from whatever the loss is, whether water damage, whether it's fire, whatever the case may be. You want to put together an inventory and probably gather some photos if you have some just to kind of support what you had in there along with receipts. So with all that said, and Corey himself would add more to it, giving you the shorter version of what we're going to discuss in this segment, we're going to talk about these duties after a loss. He's going to get into a little more clarification, a little more detail, so we can kind of get a good understanding for you of what you need to do. So go ahead, Corey, talk to us about this duties after a loss. I just had a fire at my home. Me and my family outside. We don't know what to do. We do know we got insurance. The insurance papers are in the house, and the house is burned up. What do we do?
Well, you're going to give prompt notice, and just about every insurance company out here has a call center. And the call center is something that you need to pay attention to because the call center and your first call is when the investigation of your loss begins. All calls are recorded. All calls are analyzed. All calls have a script that they're going to be asking you key points of what's regarding your loss. So when you are calling in the most panic state that you have a fire, flood, whatever, they're going to be investigating from day one. So that person who has the best, most pleasant voice and says, I am so sorry to hear about your loss, they are reading from a script and they're checking off the information. First, they ask, what is your name? Are you okay? How many people live in the house? Are they okay? And how old are they? And are they your children or are they relatives? This is a very necessary but insidious way that they start their investigation. So be aware. You have to cooperate. You have to give information. So give the basic information and then let them know, listen, I am in an extreme duress. Here's my number. Here's my email. Please call me back when I'm not staring at my burned out house. Can you send me over, text me or email me the person I need to talk to? Thank you very much. Now, that's the short version. If you really want to have that conversation and you have a lot more issues that you need to talk about, then talk about them. But understand that everything you're saying is being recorded. Everything will be analyzed and everything that will be made available. And
Yes.
what you say to that call center will set pace for what you have going on for your claim. If you start saying, well, quite honestly, I haven't lived in this house for 6 months and I just came back here because the neighbor said I had my house on fire or my house has vandalism all throughout. Guess what? You just kicked off a question about where have you been for 6 months and who's been living in there and have you been taking care of your property? So let's start with you cannot obfuscate or lie to your insurance company. That is not what you do. You cannot tell them a big lie. You can't make up stories. You have to be truthful. However, understand that saying everything that comes to mind in your panic state doesn't necessarily need to be said. So start with the basics. I am John. This is my phone number. I live with Julie. I have 2 kids and a dog. I don't know where my dog's at, and my cat died in the fire. That's very factual. You don't need to say more than that. You don't need to say that you got marital problems or your kid, has ADHD. I mean, come on, guys. Be factual. Be straightforward, but don't over share. So that's the first thing in your duties. Prompt notification. Give them the facts. Make it short. Give the contact information for you. Let them contact you later so you can be clear-headed and give them a full account of what's going on. And it's nothing wrong with saying, listen, I'm very distraught right now. I don't have my clear thought in my head. I just want you to know about this loss. Contact me at this number and please send me over my claim number. There is absolutely nothing wrong with you giving the most basic information and getting a claim number. That fulfills your obligation.
I've seen too many times where people are very invasive that causes them problems.
Right.
Some things when people tell the story, it don't add up to something that would be normal. Like you say, they're giving this statement basically over the phone and don't realize that it is used against them later, just in case the insurance company asks for a recorded statement. They're going to go back and reference everything you said from day one. Some things are critical with basically, you mentioned this in one of our segments. We were speaking about a claim that, you say the faucet, you got a leak just dripping, over a period of time. And the question gets to be, for some claims, is it a leak or a burst when it comes to defining coverage, which is, I had to set an adjuster straight as well with that. Again, it was the simple conclusion of, if it's dripping, would that be considered a leak or a burst? It kind of led her to it. And she go, well, that would be a leak. She thought she was answering the question. Then I fired it back off with it. So if the water's shooting out the plumbing, that would be considered what? And she go, well, that would be if she stopped. I said, exactly. It would be a what? A burst. And she said, exactly. So now we got 2 different scenarios we are dealing with. And she had determined that because she was led to the water to determine that. But that becomes critical when you're making those statements over the phone. For tonight, we would like to say goodnight. I'm signing off, Troy Willis, and
I'm Corey Locke. Thank you again for joining us.
Thanks for listening to the Claims Underground podcast. We hope you enjoyed this segment. If you need more information on insurance policies, feel free to check out our website, www.claimsunderground.com. And remember, when the insurance companies won't pay, we're here to help. Until next time.